Hello everyone, this is the GamingGiga and welcome back to another episode of My Little Investigations. In the last episode, we started our adventure into knowing about this case, and we didn't get very far. We got 25 minutes in, estimated. So in this episode, we shall be continuing. And let me save really quickly. Let's save. Actually, let's delete that save. And let's create a new save. Save game. And I'm going to call this LP save again. Save 1. Okay. So now since that save game is gone, we shouldn't be having that fast forward anymore. Okay. So let's go find Apple Bloom. Let's see if she's at the bridge. And let's keep going. Town Square.
Can you do that for me, Sweetie Belle? At least until this all blows over. Of course. Leave it to me, Apple Bloom. See ya.
I wonder what those two are talking about. Official Cutie Mark Crusader business, maybe? Might as well have a chat with Apple Bloom while she's here.
Alright. So now since we know where Apple Bloom is, let's go over and talk to her. And there she is. Apple Bloom.
Hey, Apple Bloom. How's it going with the Cutie Mark Crusaders?
Oh, well, no, actually, not really. See, we're kinda on break.
On break? Since when do the Cutie Mark Crusaders take breaks?
Since, well, recently. I mean, every pony's gotta take a break once in a while, right?
How recently?
Pretty recent?
Why is she avoiding my questions? Something's not right here. Although, now that I think about it, there's one Crusader I haven't heard anything about today. Say, Apple Bloom, do you know where Scootaloo's been?
Nowhere. I mean, somewhere. I mean, not here. I mean, I don't know.
Alright, so let's go talk to her about Rarity's situation. Because that's probably the next thing we should do.
So, did you hear about what happened to Rarity last night?
Did I? That was an awful thing that happened to her.
Well, don't worry. I'm on the case. And I promise you that I'll find the one who broke that window and stole from her.
Oh, well, good luck with that. Hope you have real good luck there.
That was an odd response. Apple Bloom, you wouldn't happen to know anything about what happened, would you?
Huh? Course not. Why would you think I'm not telling you something, huh?
Because you just told me that you're not.
Okay, so now we have a new one called Last Night. In parentheses, interrogation. Interrogation, Pinkie Pie will explain it. Alright, so let's hear what's going on.
Okay, Apple Bloom. Time to find out what you're hiding.
Hold it!
What?
I'm pressing you for information, Buster. Or at least that's what the walkthrough says. I'm not.
Another lesson from Professor Pinkie Pie?
Yupperoonie! This time we're talking about interrogations! Are you excited? I'm super duper excited with a strawberry on top!
Don't you mean cherry?
No, I don't really like cherries.
But I mean the whole ride home with Rarity. Never mind. Let's just get this over with.
Okie dokie dokie! Now, the walkthrough says that interrogations are a super special thing where you've got to try to wring the truth out of your opponent. And you do this with your mind, Twilight. Your mind! I guess you should have no problem with all that mind you got, huh?
Sure. So, what do I do?
Well, she's about to tell you something that totally isn't true. Well, part of it at least. And it's your job to figure out what that part is. Once you find a statement that doesn't fit with the evidence you have available, you'll want to present that evidence against that statement. Like so. Zam! Powie! Pizzazz!
Can I do it without that last part?
Well, if you want to be boring, sure.
Boring is fine. Boring is great.
Oh, and if you think you need your opponent to talk more about something they said, you can always select press for info, and you'll get them to talk. Like me, I love talking.
I've noticed.
And that's all for now. But remember, you gotta use pizzazz. Otherwise, you're not a real investigator. The walkthrough says so.
Duly noted.
Jeez, do something to liven her up a bit, would ya? She's a terrible audience. Anyway, until next time, bye!
I thought she'd never leave. Okay, on with the investigation. Applebloom, I need to ask you about where you were around the time of the crime.
Huh? How come? I'm not a suspect, am I?
No, I just need to know. Procedure and all. That makes sense, right?
Sure, I guess. I wasn't really doing a whole lot yesterday, to be perfectly honest. Most of my day was spent with Applejack helping her on the farm. We finished everything up at around 6:30 or 7. I don't remember exactly when it was. I had homework to complete for school after that, so I was pretty much just doing that for the rest of the day. I certainly never went anywhere near the Carousel Boutique. No siree! So I don't know if I can really help you much here, Twi. Awful sorry.
All right, so if anyone's played the Ace Attorney games, this might seem very familiar. With the actual court scene with a person doing a testimony, and you're hearing their information and this and that, presenting evidence, asking them questions about it. All right, so let's reread these again. I wasn't really doing a whole lot yesterday. To be perfectly honest, most of my day was spent with Applejack helping her on the farm. We finished everything up around 6:30 or 7. I don't remember exactly when it was. I had homework to complete for school after that, so I was pretty much just doing that for the rest of the night. I certainly never went anywhere near the Carousel Boutique. No siree. So I don't know if I can really help you much here, Twi. Awfully sorry. So basically, if we hit press for info, she'll talk more about the line she just said in this box. Like this one, I'll get more information on her helping Applejack for the rest of the day. But the one thing we know, if we remember back in our evidence, it says the cape, Applebloom's Cutie Mark Crusader cape, a torn piece found outside the boutique, fixed by Rarity this morning. So maybe we could present that. Let's present that.
Wait a second. Objection.
Phoenix Wright reference.
Twilight, what in the hell are you doing?
Well, I wanted to give it, pizzazz. Just like the real thing. Did it sound official?
Oh yeah, and when Pinkie Pie said, "Hold it," that's another Phoenix Wright reference if no one knows it.
Twi, you feeling alright? Hey, I bet Sakura can help with that.
Okay, I get it. I'm not a lawyer. Anyways.
And there she's making fun of Phoenix Wright because she's not a lawyer.
Applebloom, I'm afraid to say that I don't think you're being honest with me here.
Huh? Of course I am, Twi. How could you say something like that?
Oh no, I'm not being guilt-tripped this time. I found a scrap of your cape near the bridge to the Carousel Boutique. I know you were there, Applebloom.
Oh, well, that doesn't mean that was left there last night, does it? Why, that was left there a long time ago, Twi.
No, Applebloom. Bloom, I'm afraid that one's not going to fly. I talked to Rarity earlier, and she told me that you had this fixed this morning.
Yeah, but...
Your prized Cutie Mark Crusader's cape. Apple Bloom, come on. You can't tell me that you wouldn't get that fixed as soon as possible.
But it... I mean... Alright, you win, Twi. I'm sorry.
It's okay, but please, I need you to tell me what you know. I can't help if I don't know as much as possible.
Alright, so now that the interrogation's done, it's now last night without the interrogation. So that means we're able to talk to her about more about what happened last night. Alright, let's get going.
All right, Apple Bloom. Please tell me everything you know about what happened last night.
I can't.
And why not?
'Cause I can't.
Apple Bloom, I think I know why you're not talking.
Alright, so now we have evidence we can present or profiles. And the best thing, the cape, we don't really need to know. She doesn't know anything about the hair or the star, is what we can tell. So let's go to our profiles. Let's see, maybe it's about Scootaloo.
How's this? You're trying to protect Scootaloo, aren't you?
Sorry if I do that, guys. If I make it fast forward, just the one. I sometimes, since how they speak in the text goes, I sometimes think they stop. So, and I automatically click. All right, let's continue.
Yeah, you got it, Twi.
Apple Bloom, listen to me. I know your heart is in the right place, but this isn't the right way to protect Scootaloo. There's an investigative team coming in from Canterlot to handle this case. It's very, very important that I have this case closed before they get here.
You don't mean that investigation team, do ya?
I'm afraid I do.
Okay, I get it, Twi. No more hiding, promise. I wasn't being truthful because, well, I was awful worried about Scootaloo. See, last night, we were rehearsing a comedy routine that we had planned to put on for Rarity's birthday, which is coming up pretty soon. We've been doing that for quite a while now.
Oh, right! Comedy, of course! Great!
Well, yeah, this'll earn all cutie marks for sure. But you can't tell any pony about this, Twi. This is super duper top secret. It won't work if it's not a surprise.
Sure. You can trust me. Cross my heart and hope to fly. Stick a cupcake in my eye.
That a yes?
Yes.
Well, alright then. Anyway, we were practicing in the town square last night, like always, and things are going pretty well. We took a break. But I don't know where Scootaloo was at that time, or what she was up to. A short while after that, we heard a sudden loud crash coming from Carousel Boutique. We didn't know what in tarnation was happening now, so we just watched for a bit to see what was going on. And then a little while after that, some pony ran across the bridge real fast. We didn't get a good look at it, but I'm pretty sure it was Scootaloo, Twi.
What? Oh, no. That can't be right.
Afraid it is, Twi. I didn't know what was going on, but since it seemed like Scootaloo was in trouble, we all figured, well, better not say anything about it. I'm awful sorry I lied to you, Twi.
It's fine, really. You did the right thing in telling me all this. This has been a big help.
Scootaloo's not a thief, Twi. You gotta believe me. You gotta help her. Promise.
I promise on my honor as an investigator that I will clear Scootaloo's name and get to the bottom of this.
Is that something that's valuable?
Let's just say that, yes, I promise. Now I know that Verity's hiding something from me. I'd better pay her another visit.
Okay, so now we have everything within Apple Bloom said. So let's go back to Rarity at the Carousel Boutique. See what she knows now. Now, we could present our evidence to ask her a little more about it, but let's just go straight into last night.
Rarity, I think we should start with what happened last night.
Of course, darling. What would you like to know?
Could you describe exactly what happened and what you saw?
Well, I'm afraid there isn't much to tell. I was sleeping in my bedroom when suddenly I heard a shrill crash from downstairs. I went downstairs to investigate, and what did I find but my house overturned and ransacked, my prized jewel gone, and my beloved opal essence missing as well. Oh, Opal! Mama's coming soon!
Perhaps I should ask more specifically about what was stolen. And that was everything there is to speak of? You saw nothing else at all?
No, nothing, I'm afraid. So sorry, Twilight.
That sounded awfully
Why, thank you, darling. But I'm afraid that I haven't a clue what I'd use it for. Terribly sorry, but I simply cannot accept this gift.
I wasn't giving it to you.
Sorry about that. I said let's try giving the testimony as evidence, but that's what she says. So let's do it on Apple Bloom. ... I believe. Let's try it.
Oh, well, I must apologize, Twilight, but we haven't spoken much lately. I haven't much input.
Okay. Scootaloo, I think.
Rarity, I hate to say it, but I don't think you're telling me the whole truth here.
Why, darling, whatever do you mean? I dare say I resent your accusation, my dear.
All right then, let's look at this a different way. How quickly did you come downstairs after you thought something was wrong?
Immediately, of course, but I don't see what relevance that has to anything.
I don't have all the answers here, but neither does Rarity. Maybe I can get her to talk, if I make it seem like I know more than I really do. Rarity, I spoke to Applebloom earlier and learned that she witnessed Scootaloo crashing through your window last night. I also learned that Scootaloo stayed for roughly a minute before leaving the boutique. Now, if you came downstairs immediately after hearing the crash, don't you think you might have seen something?
I mean, that is... I suppose you do have a point.
Thanks, Celestia. It worked.
All right. So now last night is unlocked, and we can know more. All right. Let's get into this.
You are correct, Twilight. I did see Scootaloo last night. I did not know what to make of it, and meant to protect her. I do apologize for not being forthright about it.
I understand, Rarity, but if that investigation team from Canterlot comes here and finds any of that out, what do you think their conclusion is going to be?
You do have a point, I must say.
All right, time to get to the bottom of this.
All right. Now let's do some interrogation. Sorry that I'm talking in little bursts here and there. I'm trying to get through the game as best as I can. And I'm also muting my mic whenever they speak, so sometimes I'll forget that and speak. That's why if it sounds like I do something without saying anything, that's why. All right, let's continue.
All right, Rarity, please tell me everything you know about what you saw last night. I can't help if I don't have all the details.
Of course, Twilight. I shall do my best. I finished my work for yesterday earlier than expected, so I had wanted to get my beauty sleep. I had been somewhat deprived, given that a certain client had made several last-minute orders. had finally fallen into a blissful, restful sleep when, all of a sudden, I awoke to the sound of a loud crash coming from the first floor. Well, I was just scared out of my wits at that moment, so I made great haste downstairs to see what in Celestia's name was going on. What I found there was awful, terrible, horrible. The first floor of my boutique, ransacked, ruined, torn apart. Oh, what is a man to do? Worse still, True Blue, my prized jewel, was gone, snatched from my very home. And worst of all, the very first thing I saw when I arrived was an orange and purple pony darting out my door. I cannot explain what I saw any other way than to say that a Scootaloo purposely broke into my boutique to steal True Blue. What other explanation could there be? Surely you can see why I kept this from you, Twilight. This isn't Scootaloo at all. Yet, there she was.
I know this can't be right. It just can't, but is there anything wrong with what she's saying?
I finished my work for yesterday.
Okay, so now we got to hear that testimony. The only thing that seemed wrong to me was one thing. Where is it? Let's see. How about that? So let's present the evidence of the white hair with tire tracks.
Wait a second. Rarity. I know that this is going to sound entirely irrelevant, but I think I have a lead on what might have happened to Opalescence. At least, if not True Blue.
Oh, do tell, darling. Although I do admit that I must agree, in that I can't see how this is relevant to what we're discussing here.
I found some white hair right near the tracks outside the window. And judging from their length and color, I don't think there's anyone else they could have come from other than Opalescence. As a result, I think we can reasonably conclude that if those tire marks are from Scootaloo, then it's entirely likely that she crashed through your window completely by accident, not purposefully. She was probably trying to avoid crashing into Opal, which may well have spooked Opal into running away.
Really? But then, that makes things all the more peculiar. Because it is still the fact that she must have stolen True Blue, no?
Let me ask a very important question before answering that.
Alright, here we got 3 questions. Is there another way in or out of the boutique? Do you lock your doors each night? Do you know that Opal might have stolen the True Blue? The first, there's only really one exit. And why would Opal if it's a cat? I really don't see any logic into that. The only one that seems logical about a cat in anything is, do you lock your doors each night? So let's go with that.
Do you, by any chance, keep your door locked when you go to sleep at night?
Why, yes, of course I do. But I don't see what that has to do with anything.
One follow-up question then. Do you also bring an Opal from outside when you go to bed?
Of course! The poor dear, I couldn't leave her to fend for herself at night.
Then I think we've established something even more important than the accidental break-in.
Twilight, I must ask that you be more direct, as I am not following one word you're saying.
All right, let's think about the facts of the case thus far. We know that you heard a crash and came downstairs to see Scootaloo quickly leaving your boutique. We can reasonably conclude that she probably was responsible for the broken window. However, we also know that the broken window was likely an accident, and that she had veered off course with her scooter because she was avoiding Opal, who was immediately in front of her path. You just told me, though, that you bring an Opal and lock your door at night, so that raises perhaps the most interesting question of all here. Namely, what was Opal doing outside in the first place?
But she would have gotten out when Scootaloo opened the door, would she not?
That's not possible. Think about it. When was it that she veered to avoid Opal?
Right before she crashed through the window.
I trust you're beginning to see my point. If indeed your door had been locked and had remained that way until Scootaloo left, there would have been no way Opal would have been outside in the first place.
But that would mean that some pony else was in my boutique as well?
Exactly. I think we can reasonably conclude at this point that there at least is the possibility that someone else had entered your boutique before Scootaloo, and that they're the ones who opened the door so that Opal could get out. The question now, though, is who that would be. And that's just what I'm going to find out.
Well, good luck with that.
Are you still doubting me after all this, Rarity?
Well, it's just hard to see you as a detective.
Tell me, who was right about Nightmare Moon?
You, darling.
And who solved the mystery of the
You again, but I really...
And who recognized that Princess Cadence had been replaced by a fake?
Once again, you, but you see...
So, why does no pony ever listen to me?
Well, I suppose it's that eventually you must be due for getting something wrong. Wouldn't you agree?
I could explain the many reasons that argument doesn't hold any water, but by the time I even got to Bray's theorem, the Canterlot investigative team would have gotten here and convicted Fluttershy of something like running an illegal bear fighting club. Probably best to drop the subject now, while I have the chance. Sure. That, makes sense, I guess. Anyways, I'd best be off. More investigating and such like. Thanks for the help, Rarity.
Anytime, my dear.
Where do I go from here, though? It feels like I've talked to just about every pony. Other than Scootaloo, of course. Wait, Scootaloo. Scootaloo, that's it! I haven't talked to all the Cutie Mark Crusaders yet. And if Applebloom is involved, then the others probably are as well. Now, if I recall correctly, I can get to their clubhouse via the western exit of the town square. It's worth a shot, at any rate.
Okay, so now we got that. Now we can go to Sweet Apple Acres. Alright, so in the next episode, we shall be doing that. Let me save. Save game. And, okay. Also, guys, the game does autosave when you quit, so it does save. Autosave if you want. I just save my own, just in case something happens. I can always go back. Alright, guys. In the next episode, guys, we shall be going to Sweet Apple Acres, talk to Sweetie Belle, and hopefully Scootaloo, if we can find Scootaloo. Alright, guys, see you on the next episode. I'm the GamingGiga, and take it easy.